Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hope. My name is Tammy Lynn Connors. This is my YouTube channel and podcast, helping other people evolve. Today, I have the pleasure of having my friend Lou on here. Hi, Lou. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Trying to get it was a little cold. I'll be okay.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me, I've been dealing with it too. I think it's the weather, especially around here, up here in Northwest Ohio, Southeast Michigan. We've had 65 degrees last week, and now today I think it's 30.
Huh.
It just keeps bouncing. It's very bipolar weather here. We'll just say that. So, and you're in North Carolina, you said Charlotte area?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah. How's the weather been down there?
You know what? It's been kind of on and off. Like, in the mornings like 40 degrees and it goes up to 70. And today is 70, and tomorrow is going to drop down to 54. So it's kind
Oh,
of like then it's going to drop down to 40, then go back up to 70. It's ridiculous here.
yeah. So that's the same as here too. You just don't know. And so one day you're going out with a winter coat, and the next day you're going out with the shorts.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't know. Right. So for those of you that do not know what hope is, my mission and vision when I started this was just to help people know that they don't struggle alone. In life, we all go through struggles. No one's promised that this life would be easy. And some of us go through struggles and we think we're all alone in our struggles. And I've been fortunate enough to interview people that have unfortunately been through struggles, but fortunately have gotten to strengths throughout those struggles. And all we hope is that maybe you'll hear a story, maybe you'll hear Lou's story today or my story. And that day you'll be able to walk outside and know that you're not alone in your struggles, because I feel like so many people feel like that's it. They're alone. There's nobody else out there going through what they go through. So today I'm super excited. I always like to tell people how I meet the people that come on my podcast. And Lou and I have been following each other for quite a little while now on TikTok, right?
Yes.
Mostly
Absolutely.
because of our workouts, because he works out. He works out more than I do, if that tells you anything. Yeah, so it has been fun. I know you have your Wednesday challenges, and I haven't done any of them yet, but I'll be doing those Wednesday
Yeah.
challenges. So
Yes.
yes, I will be. I keep looking at him going, I need to do that. And then I forget. So anyways, but Lou, I'm super excited to have you on here. I know you had a post just a short time ago that I saw that you had lost a daughter and it had been 1 year. And I reached out to you then and just asked, like, would you share your story a little bit? So I guess if we just want to go through maybe talk about that a little bit, but just talk about Lou a little bit too. What you go through and how you're getting through your days and things like that.
Well, what Lou goes through now in the past year has
Mhm.
been up and down struggles.
Yeah,
The one thing that's helped me in the last year is the gym.
yeah,
That's the losing a child is I can't even describe it to me. I really can't. It's a
yeah.
pain that you can't even describe. It's like a hole in your heart and your soul.
Hmm.
So 1 year ago in October, I was at the gym working out, and I get a phone call,
Hmm.
and you know how it is. Like, sometimes you don't want to get those phone calls, especially in the middle of the night or wherever you were expecting one. I got terrible news. My daughter and her friend were trying a new, substance, and hers was laced with fentanyl.
Mm.
And she
Mm-mm.
cardiac arrest on the floor, and she died actually in front of my grandkids.
Oh my goodness.
Uh, it was tough for them. It was tough for all of us,
Right.
but my bad.
You
Uh,
okay?
yeah, put it like this: it's just a pain that you cannot get over.
Right. Right.
So for the past year, I've probably been more dedicated into the gym for the pain, the mental, the physical is okay, but
Sure.
to get through this day by day.
Right.
Because some days, like, okay, I'll go outside and something will remind me of
Mm.
my.
Right.
And so what I try and do is remember and like all the good times, all the good things.
Yeah.
You know, talk about like to think about like our last messages together, our
Right.
last actually our last FaceTime together. We actually FaceTime a couple days before, and we
Hmm.
joking and laughing and stuff like that. So I try and focus on that.
Yeah.
Struggle day by day.
Sure. And I always tell people when we're talking about grief, especially, it's, you can tell somebody if, like, I've lost a child and I lost a bonus child. My son was 6.5 months old, and when he passed away from SIDS. And then I had a stepson who he was my stepson since he was 18 months old. And in 2012, he was in a single car drinking and driving accident and died. And so when we talk about that, I never would say to you, and I think this is a big thing for people when we're going through grief, like somebody comes up to you and says, I know how you feel. And you're looking at them like, no, you don't. So I always say to people, because I feel that hole in my heart and that emptiness, I always just say I can relate. And I think that makes such a big difference for somebody to know that I can relate to what you're saying, Lou, but I don't know how exactly you're feeling. And I think people try to have us feel a certain way through grief, and it's unfortunate. And what I love that you said, and I this was probably the biggest awakening I had about grief and losing someone that's close to us. When Nicholas had passed away in the car accident, it was in February, and his mom had him cremated, and then later in like May or June we were burying him, the ashes, and we were standing at a little private thing at the cemetery, and she looked at all of us, and I know you got a little emotional, and I'll get probably emotional too, but she looked at all of us and she said, my biggest fear is that people will forget him. And I think that's something that, especially as a parent, as a husband, as a child with their parent, that you worry that somebody's going to forget that person. And so we try to keep their memory alive. And I think it's important, like you said, remembering the FaceTime, remembering the good times, I think in grief, that's huge to me. And I'm a believer that one day I'm going to see them again. So that gives me hope. That's a big thing for me. That gives me hope, so.
I can tell you this. Grief is such, God, it's so hard for you and I and other people out there who've lost someone, especially a child. And we have to learn how to deal with it day by day.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I don't like about it, and matter of fact, I'll retract that. You learn a lot from grief,
Yes.
from the people who are really in your corner,
Mm-hmm.
really in your corner.
Yeah.
Highway people say, "Oh, I got you, and I'm always gonna be here for you," and stuff like that. And then a lot of people just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And just disappear, or they'll say, "Well, I don't know what to say," or they'll say something stupid like, "Oh, well, then you'll get over in time." I'm like,
Right,
"Okay,
right.
right," something like that. So, like, you ask, and it makes you a different person.
For
And
sure.
I say, in this last year, I can say I'm way a different person than I was before.
Mm-hmm.
I just go at it differently. My whole mindset's different from all this.
Mm-hmm.
My beliefs has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I still have hope that one day her and I will be together again.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe in that word hope a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it gets hard where your hope is not there.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
hard to get that hope. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And especially right when you lose someone of that magnitude, it's very hard to be hopeful. But I do the best I can to be hopeful, like of not easing, but I kind of like easing the pain, but just going through the process each day and just trying to move on, not move on, but just cope with it every day. That's what I do. I cope with it because
Right.
it's very hard to cope with the whole situation,
Mm-hmm.
but I do the best I can.
Right. And I think that I say this, and I don't say this in any way that it sounds, I don't know. It doesn't sound, I don't, we're all going to go one day, right?
Yeah.
Period. Some of us go sooner than others, right? I never like saying that because it's almost like, ew, that's not very nice, but it's true. The truth of life is we're born and we're going to die. Nobody's going to live forever. But we don't get the tools to know that, right? And so as you see me, I live out loud, and I live like, here I am, I'm happy, I'm sober, I'm going to live the best life I can. because tomorrow isn't promised for me, and it's not promised for my son, or it's not promised for my sister, you know? So I have to live my best life to know that I gave it my all, I guess, is my big thing, you know, and have to navigate through, though, knowing that people that I love might go before me. And that's a hard thing, because that's why I think I love so hard, because I want them to always know that, yes, I loved you so much and I gave you everything I possibly could from me to show you love. And I think that's the way I am with everybody. Like I say, my friend Danelle Delgado says, I love everybody, I just don't like everybody. So that's
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
kind of where I'm at. I
that's true.
love the world, but I don't like everybody. But I just think that being intentional with ourselves and what we do in life, and like you said, death changes us a lot, and having to navigate, because now she had kids then.
She has three.
Three kids. So now you got the grandkids that they're dealing with the grief of that, right? Like losing their mother. I mean, that's hard, especially in front of her, you
Oh
know,
God.
and in front of them, that's, you know, and here I go relating again. I hate the fact that I can relate to so many things, but I love the fact that I can relate to so many
Absolutely.
things, if that makes any sense. So at 13 years old, my dad died. He drowned in our bathtub, and from addiction, and I saw him, right? And so that's something that's always been a trauma for me that I had to work through. But through counseling and talking and learning, you know, and people being there for me, like you said, you know, when you talk about people that are there, I remember, and this was as a teenager, like when my dad died, everybody was there for my mom. She was 32, she was just young, right? My sister and I were 13 and 8. And then shortly after that, my dad's whole side of the family like disappeared, like we didn't even exist anymore. And I was like, and when I got older and thought about that, I was like, man, we were kids. We needed you, you know? And to think that that's what people do, because, like you said, they don't know what to say to us,
Nope.
really. That's it. And so they feel so. I know that through when you were talking about the fentanyl, my good friend passed away from a Percocet that was fentanyl, and his mom says the same thing. Like somebody will come up and mention Josh's name, or they'll say something, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and it's like, "No, no, it's okay. Please talk about them." You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure and you said you have other kids too, Lou.
Yeah. I have three others. Her little brother, Louis Jr. Uh, he's out in Seattle. And the two babies, I still call them babies now. They're both in Arizona. They all living their best lives and stuff like that. So I guess I try to spend more time with them, stay more communicated with them, which I always been doing.
Right.
But like I said earlier, like guess what? We all have a clock, and we all had to enjoy our lives. And
Hmm.
I was in the last year, this has made me put me more into a situation where I'm going to enjoy life more and more every day.
Hmm.
Because, like I said, like you said, we're not guaranteed at all to be here tomorrow. So I live my best life every single day, every single minute. You know, either going to the gym or, well, not work because whatever. But or like just sitting here on the couch watching TV or watching my birds play, watching my Eagles play. I'm good to go with that. But I enjoy my life. I let my kids be their kid, be my kids. But I'm
Hmm.
always there to support them if they need me or anything like that. So, but this journey for me has happened before. So
Okay.
I've been dealing with this stuff, like people passing along in my life. So it's like different steps.
Hmm.
10 years, after what, 12, 13 years ago, I lost my mother, my father, and my grandmother back to back
Oh, geez.
years in a row. So I had to learn how to deal with that. Then when you lose your daughter, you got to learn how to deal with that. So it makes you stronger, but it just takes a little bit of your soul out of you.
Hmm.
So I try and deal with it the best way I can. And that love was taken from me. I still try and channel it and just like give it back to my kids now, just be there for them more.
Right.
But it's so hard. So that's probably the reason why everybody's saying like, man, like that, because a lot of people ask like, well, why you work out so much? Why you in the gym so much? Tell me you have, the gym helps you out so much. It's
Mhm.
not about physical, it's that mental.
Mhm.
Because everybody is going through something in their life.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everybody, everybody, everybody has a story,
Yes.
and that gym can probably tell a million different stories.
Mhm.
And I
Yes.
my story, and that's helped me out so much with grief, with everyday life,
Yeah.
you just everything.
Mhm.
So, like right now, I'm just going through. I'm writing my story right now,
Mhm.
and I'm using that. But again, it's tough. But like the sign right in back of you, I still have hope.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And so through this, I wanted to bring a little bit of awareness with the fentanyl.
Right.
I your daughter was probably just a normal person, right? Just like, and tried something and it had the fentanyl in it. And
Yeah.
people need to know this more and more and more because, I always talk about the stigma of things that, everything's stigmatized nowadays. And, your opiate addict, your alcoholic, your crack addict, all of those, they're not people that are like losers on the streets always, right? It doesn't work like that. And,
No.
and sometimes, like my friend Josh, he took a Percocet, he wasn't looking to go get super high or anything on one Percocet. I know that, but it had fentanyl in it. And I have another friend down in Oklahoma and her son took a pill, him and his girlfriend, and it was fentanyl. He died at the young age of 19 years old, and that's what people need to be more aware of is, talk to your kids about this stuff, whether they're 18 or they're 30. They need to be aware of this because they could be at a party and somebody passing something around and they take it, not think, even marijuana nowadays, they're lacing everything with this fentanyl. I'm trying to figure out why they're trying to kill everybody, but for some reason and the problem is people just keep taking it and it keeps being laced, and it's just a very, very sad thing. My friend down in Oklahoma, I think she lives in Oklahoma, but she has one pill can kill now. She has this
Yeah.
big thing going on, and it's so true, and I think that awareness needs to be more.
I tell you, fentanyl is so accessible now. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I know of two. I don't know them personally. I know two people that passed away off of fentanyl laced weed, just
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah.
And actually, coincidence, like one of them was in Oklahoma. It's just too accessible out there. I wish they can get rid of it, but they say it's government control, which I think is whatever, because it's so out there on the streets everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like it's really killing off a good mass of our population, and a
Yes.
lot still talk about it more. But as always, some people don't want to talk about it because
No.
if it doesn't affect them, they don't want to talk about it.
Well, and that's a big thing that you just said. I just had this conversation with someone the other day. Like, if it's not affecting their life, they don't want to talk about it, right? We had unfortunately a young man here in Toledo, and I'm not sure the story. I just know that they found him burned in a car, right?
Yeah.
And man, some of these people are just mean behind these keyboards, right? And I
Mhm.
said to my friend, because they said something about drugs and this and that, and I thought, because this person hasn't been affected by this yet in their family, because I guarantee, unfortunately, saying 99% of people are going to be affected with either mental health or drug problems, period.
Yes.
And until they're affected by it, they're like sitting back like, oh my gosh, those people. No, it's not those people, it's all of us. We're all affected. And just because it hasn't happened in your family, and I hate to be like this yet, I can almost guarantee it will eventually happen in your family. And it could be just like your daughter, like you said too, like somebody hitting a joint with somebody.
Yep.
There you go. And they do the not my kid, not my kid. And
Oh God.
I
I've
just
heard.
yeah, I just did a live video with somebody the other day, and he lost his daughter to an overdose. And his really good friend, who's a good friend of mine, Ross, had lost his daughter and son to overdoses. And the other guy, John, had said after Ross's two children had passed away, like, yeah, our kids are smarter than that. That's not going to happen to them. Well, then his daughter ended up, right? And it was like almost like a smack in the face. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's not like, you know, they say we didn't wake up one day and decide to be an alcoholic or an addict or take something. I mean, think about it. I'm blessed that they didn't have fentanyl and things back in the day when I was using, because I'd have been dead for sure. Because I took anything. I didn't even think about it, you know. But it's that stigma, and it's unfortunate that people feel that way about it, you
Oh,
know.
that's so common out there nowadays. Like it could be that, it could be mental, just like you said, mental illness, or just anything. Oh, that what happened to my kid, or this and that, whatever. It happens more than anybody else. Especially, I love those people. I love them. Well, it didn't happen to me, or it didn't happen to anybody I know. So I'm just gonna sweep it on the rug. I don't want to talk about it. It
Mhm.
that it could be racist, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
If it
Yep.
doesn't affect them, they don't care.
Yep.
Everything. And I love that. It's so comical nowadays. It's just
Yeah.
love it.
Now, did you just out of curiosity, did you get any counseling or anything after your daughter passed away?
Yeah, the gym.
At the gym? Okay. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. You know, I always like to talk about mental health, period, because,
Okay.
and especially in men. I mean,
Um, I can tell you, you know what? For me, this is just for me personally.
sure.
I know anybody. If you need counseling, go get it. Now I've talked about stuff on my TikTok too. If just talk to someone.
Right.
But see, this is the biggest problem about talking to someone. That person has to be there to listen.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, I'll be there for you, and they're not there. Now, I lost two people too that reached out to other people, and they wasn't there for them. And
Mm.
they actually took themselves.
Oh.
But talking to somebody, for me, I can't do it myself because you don't know what I'm going through.
Mhm.
I understand if you're a specialist and stuff. I'm just speaking for myself.
Sure. Sure.
Um, I'm not saying that I can get through it myself totally great, but
Mhm.
me having a conversation with someone who does not understand what I'm going through
Right.
does not help me. And
Mhm.
like you said earlier, okay, we both been through similar things, but we can relate, but we can't understand what's going on inside.
Right.
That's hard to do too. But I mean, that would be a better conversation there, but it's hard to do.
Mhm.
So I've always been like a loner all my life anyway. You
Okay.
know, right? Besides two failed marriages, but that's another story. But but um so I just get into my thoughts in the gym, and just it helps me mentally. It,
Mhm.
especially for us men, like no, we hold everything in, everything. We're taught that way.
Right.
That you have to be strong. You have to be this. You can't be that. And like, okay, right. No woman wants a weak man.
Right.
I was brought up by my grandmother, and this came from a Southern black woman. Do not. She told me I was 16. That was the last time I cried uh, over a girl. But don't ever show tears in front of a woman, because that
Mm.
will, right. And I did not shed a tear. Tim, seriously, I did not shed a tear at all for until I guess what, my mom's funeral. I shed a tear, a couple tears. My grandmother's father, no. My daughter just flooded. But
Right.
I just couldn't. I had to, and I was telling everybody like a real man does not show his tears, doesn't cry. And now I realize that a real man does.
Mhm.
It took me to be 52 years old to realize it,
Right. Right.
heartache and stuff like that. But I was raised to be like that,
Right.
especially can't show weakness around other men,
Right.
because that's the real problem. Because they go like, "Oh, he a punk, he this or whatever." So you
Right.
guys on there, and a lot of men have met people where, all right, well, I mean, she said she wants a real man, so I gotta be strong and tough, and this and that. You can't show emotion. But then they be like, okay, well, show me some emotion, and then you can't do it. It's all messed up.
Yeah.
So
It is.
it's tough for us. It really is. But I
Yeah.
think all men should have some type of emotion. You gotta show your emotions. In
Yes.
death or whatever, you have to embrace them. Because if not,
Yes.
guess what? We're gonna kill off. Because I can tell you, like, I think it's like the biggest number, like I think it was like last year alone, 22, 75,000 men died of mental health. 75,000 in 22. Now, I don't know if it's COVID or whatever, but the numbers are going up and up. And
Mhm.
I checked it out not too long ago. I think we're at like 57,000 now or 58,000 in
And you're
mental
coming
health.
up on the holidays, so that's even worse.
Yeah, so like these guys are holding it all in, and they gotta be Mr. Tough Guy and all this shit. I'm sorry, all this stuff like that. So you know, it's a tough slope.
Yeah, it is. And it's okay if you cuss a little on here. It's okay.
Okay.
And that's it. You know, I've talked to many men about this because I have a son. So I never told him that don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. And I can remember him growing up, and some of my friends were like, he's going to grow up to be so soft and da 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 da. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's going to grow up to be a respectful man and know that it's okay to have feelings. And
Yes.
he's going to be 34 next week, and he does show his feelings. I mean, sometimes he might keep them bottled up a little too long, but eventually he will talk about them and get them out. And I think what's important, like you said, like whatever your outlet is, you go to the gym, that's where you do your thinking and you get it. And sometimes, you know, when you said listen, you know, I say God gave us 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to zip it sometimes.
Yes.
Listening is the biggest thing. I don't know how many people have called me. We've had a conversation. I've hardly talked at all. I might say 3 or 4 words. At the end, they're like, thank you so much. You just helped me. And I'm like, I didn't do anything, but it was just listening. It was just listening, you know. Sometimes you just, like you said, it gets all built up and you just explode. And then
Yes.
with the mental health, I mean, you look at, oh, it's just so sad to me because the people that are committing suicide and taking their life because, like you said, they didn't have somebody to call that said they would be there for them, you know. And
They
I
heard. Listen to them. See, you can hear a lot of things.
right.
Actually taking in and listening, it's so hard to find that, and that comes for man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's I've heard from many women say, guys don't listen. Like you know, they just hear. They don't really take it in. But that helps out so much if you can take it in and listen to that person. You have to. I don't care if it's mental or whatever. Communication. Those
Yes.
tough conversations.
Yes.
Perfectly right. Perfect right there.
Yes, the tough conversations, which I tell people, like, especially if they're going into recovery, I'll tell them, I'll be like, I know that phone weighs 1,000 pounds
Yep.
to pick it up and actually call. But
Yep.
once you call and you have the conversation, now it's going to weigh like 100 pounds before you set it down, you
Oh,
know? And that's the way it is, you know, and having communication conversations are the most important thing in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, a marriage, kids,
yeah.
parents, that communication, you know, and you can't keep running away from it because it's going to eventually build up and then you are going to have those thoughts of am I worth being here and all of that, you
Listen
know.
to you. I tell people all the time, if you could be on TikTok all day, you can make 5-10 minutes for a conversation or to hear somebody.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, you know, you see them on there all day. Someone be sleeping on there. They're watching them. I understand that one, but that's not a subject, not time.
Yeah.
It only takes a minute. That's all it
Right.
does. And listening is such a key thing in everything you do.
Yeah.
Everything, from
I agree.
mental to whatever.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So now does your grandkids, do they live near you or they live?
No, they actually got split up. They got
Oh,
split up because you know, she was, you know, she had different fathers. So
yeah.
uh one's in Virginia and the other two are back in Philly. So hard to keep it kind of hard to track them down here and there. One father is cool, one is not. So
Mm,
another story
yeah.
for whatever.
Yeah.
But
That's tough.
um the youngest one, he was only 9 months. So
Oh, it's a baby, baby.
doesn't really know. The oldest one, my oldest grandson, he should be like 15 now, I think. Like 14. 14, 14, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not hard to keep track with these kids.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right. And so, you know, talking to him and trying to keep him straight and,
Yeah.
teenagers nowadays in this age, I wish I would not want to be a teenager in this age.
No, no.
It was better when we was younger. That was more fun. This is dangerous now.
Yeah. This
But
whole social media thing is,
Oh God, it's ridiculous. And so trying to keep in contact with them, and now then I got the new one, the little baby chunker, another grandson. So I haven't had no granddaughters. No one. I got 4 grandchildren, 4 of them, all boys.
always,
Girl, no girl.
no.
But so I got them out there, and then Christmas is going to be a pain in the ass, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
And
All over the country.
oh God, yeah, it's going to be trying to keep up with them. So that's going to be another one.
Right, right. So now you said you have kids that live in Arizona. Do you ever go out there and visit?
Yeah, I'm going out there this January.
Yeah.
To see the brand new one.
Okay.
Chunker, he was like over 9 pounds, so he was a big boy. And right, I decided to do a TikTok with him. He should be like 10 pounds by the time I get out there. So I'm gonna do like some arm curls with him. I'm an arm
There you
curl.
go. That'll be great. That'll be
Yeah.
great.
And
So
see my daughter while I'm out there, the little so-called grown woman she says she is,
yeah. How
but
old is she?
she's actually gonna be 20 on Monday.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, she's grown then.
Oh, and she thinks she calls me for money every week though, but she's grown.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how that goes for sure.
Oh, they'll never stop. Even the oldest one calls for money, which he probably makes more money than me. Probably, I don't know.
They just want to check in with you, Dad, and make sure that you still got them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm just gonna go to the tree in the backyard and get all this money out and just mail it to you.
Oh yeah, I have one of those too, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of them. Yeah. Big.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have plans for the holidays this year, or are you just chilling in Carolina?
Gym, couch, relaxing.
Nice, very
You know
good.
what? Right now, I'm doing me. Right now, which I think a lot of people, quote unquote, say they do them. I'm actually doing me.
Okay.
Doing things alone.
Yeah.
And this is probably the first time I'm getting to know who I am.
Mm,
And I'm writing my own story.
right.
I'm not I'm not acting out a story from before. I'm not a character. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm writing my own chapters, living my life.
Yeah.
I stay single. I don't want to date anybody. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And because I'm doing me. And when it does come, I'll be better off for it.
Right.
If we're on the same page though.
Sure.
But right now I'm just doing me. The holidays just gonna be me. And I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Not so much Christmas because that was her favorite time of year.
Okay.
So, I think this year is gonna be a little harder for me this year because
Yeah.
this happened.
Right. Right.
And I got a whole year to take it in. And she my bad.
You're okay.
She
Remember, it's
loved
okay to show emotions.
she loved Christmas.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine got me I think it's a shadow book. So I'm going to start writing in that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm actually going to just keep on good thoughts.
Yeah.
And
no, and that's important.
Yeah, just good thoughts, and this enjoy my Christmas and the best way I can. How about you?
So it's funny that you say that because really, when I said I moved to Arizona in 21, so my mom passed away in 20, and she had lived with me. Me and her lived together since 2013. I helped take care of her and my niece and my nephew. Yeah. So all my years of forever, I've always had other people, and I was always taking care of other people. So in 21, when I moved out to Arizona, it was what you're doing right now, like actually learning who I am and what I like to do and who I want to be, writing my story then, because my story before was everybody else.
Yes.
And even when I came back here, still a little bit like my sister, she actually just went in recovery and she's been sober but almost 80 days now, I think, which is amazing for her. And we're actually going to have a Thanksgiving dinner with her at her rehab today.
Awesome.
I'm picking up her son and his girlfriend, and her other daughters are going. And so it'll be really nice. But all that time, my focus was on everybody else. So now
Yeah.
it's on me. And last year was my first Christmas, like by myself, like nobody else, right? And I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna put up a tree. And my son, I was talking to him, and he lives close to me, and he was like, but Mom, you love Christmas. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you put up a tree? And I was like, well, because we sold the tree when we got rid of everything. And he's like,
Yeah.
so go buy yourself a tree. And I did last year, and I put up my tree, and I decorated, and the thing is, with my mom, everything pretty much was her decorations and the way that she liked it, which was fine. But now it's actually like mine. Like I got my cross wall that I've wanted. And so it's been living for me, and it's been
Yeah.
different, like you said, and I'm good with it. And
How that
learning
feel?
who I am. I think that's important. That shadow book, I have a friend that's doing that shadow book right now, and he said it's pretty deep. It's pretty
Yeah.
deep. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, so I don't know if you ever get any like little I don't know, reminders of your daughter, like she sends you little things like maybe a song or anything like that.
God, no,
Maybe you
no,
should pay a little attention. Maybe sometimes that you're not seeing it and she does.
God, no, no. Not a song. I know it was kind of funny because I think I've seen 5 people in the last year who is similar to her
Uh-huh.
this year, like a
Yeah.
certain look, eyes, nose, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I've gotten.
Yeah.
Songs, no.
No.
No, what?
I think
No.
that there's a lot of different things that are angels, whatever you want to call them, will send us just to remind us that hey, we're here. Whether maybe it's a feather laying on the ground, just things that we don't notice, and then we see it and we're like, oh yeah. So just maybe be a little aware of that a
Oh,
little more.
you know what? That reminds me. I forgot what night that was. Oh shit. God, where was I at? It was damn. For some reason, I walked outside. It was a warm night, and I saw 4 different stars. That's all I saw was 4 different bright stars.
Uh-huh.
One of me here and over here, and one in the back of me. I ain't seen no stars. They were real bright.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like it's just something that told me to just look up. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's my mother, grandmother, daughter, father, or somebody. That's the only thing that really got me
Yeah.
because, and I don't know how. Maybe you can understand this. Like I just felt something. I don't
Yeah.
know what it was. I can't explain it. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
real, not real, but whatever. But it was something told me to look up, and the brightest star was right in front of me.
Yep.
Looking, I just kept
Yeah.
on. And I looked to my right, looked to my left, I looked back at me. I was like, "What the hell?" And you'll see no other bright stars but on 4. I
Yeah.
was like, what was that? 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think that's to me, those are like little reminders, just that our people are with us still. They're just not here in the flesh, but they're
yeah,
always with us. I just like to point that out because sometimes things like that will happen to me too, and it'll be something like weird. Like I'll think of it and I'll look and I'll be like, whoa, well, why is that right there, right?
yeah,
And
right.
then it was just that angel talking to me. So I just maybe keep an eye out for that a little bit more.
Oh, now I definitely will now.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, listen, is there anything that you want to like share with anybody before we get off here? Just words of wisdom or, a good workout?
I would tell anybody first and foremost if they ever get into the gym, know why you're doing it.
Hmm.
If it's, I would go against doing it for someone else. I would say do it for yourself. If
Yes.
you look better, feel better, or like you need for your mental health. But if you need someone to talk to, you know, find someone. I know it's someone in your corner, someone out there that's going willing to listen to you. Don't keep it all in. If
Yeah.
you're a man, let it out. Cry.
Mm,
Don't
yeah.
worry about what she says. If she says that you're weak or whatever, dump her. Just get somebody else.
Right.
So
Yeah.
somebody just go and no, that's really it. And oh, okay. I want everybody to have a good Thanksgiving, good Christmas. Follow this woman right here. She's amazing, and she does work out hard. I tell you right now, I'm one of her biggest fans. I
Oh,
really
thanks.
am her biggest fans. You're doing good, Sam. I appreciate this.
Thank you. I appreciate you getting on here and sharing with us. And like I always tell people too, by the way, I forgot to say this, you're my friend forever now. You're stuck with me. So
Oh, you're the
yeah,
best.
that's how that works. But no, and I enjoy following your journey. I love watching you work out, and I love the quotes that you put in there and stuff, just to remind people like you're not alone. We're not alone in our struggles. You know, we all go through things. And what you said too is if you're a man and you cry, and that woman says to you that you're a wimp or not a man or anything like that, like you said, out the door you go, because that is not true, you know. And it's a shame that the world is like that, and that you were told that as you were young. And I know so many other, and especially in your community, I know that I've talked to many black
God.
men that have said that, like it's like
That's
very, very
another podcast there, girl.
right. That's a whole nother podcast. I agree. And we will do that. I always say I'd love to come back and talk again, but it's true. And you know, we need to know our mental health is so important, you know. The suicide rates are sky high, especially after 2020. And so many people feel alone. And my friend just said yesterday that it was just, she's like, I don't get into this kind of stuff, but there has been so many new cults that have been put together since 2020 just because people want to belong to something. So
Really?
yeah, just because they feel so all alone. So they're just grabbing onto anything. And so know that you're not alone. Know that there's people out here that will help you. TikTok is a great, great platform to meet people, to follow people. If you're quiet and you don't want to say anything, it's okay. Just listen and just try to learn from people. You know, we live in a great big world, but we got a whole lot of people that care about people. I say that don't watch the media. It's stupid. It's just showing you all the negative things. There's so much positive in life but we just have to grasp it and go on and hold on to it. And this has been on my heart for the last few days. You know, I feel like what I'm trying to do is just be a bright light in the world. And I'm just starting with one candle, and I'm being that one candle, and I'm going to pass it and light somebody else's candle and just continue to light candles. And as we go through, man, this whole world could be just one bright, shining candle, you know, and just all of us being a light in the world. And so that's just what I hope I can do. And, you know, I plan on just being a light, and that's what I'm going to do. So I appreciate
doing a fantastic job. Oh, and one last thing for gentlemen out there, support your ladies. I'm telling you right now, they're the strongest people on this earth. I'll tell you one last thing. Women, I've always said this, and some people may not agree with this or not. Women are the strongest people in this world. The strongest, mentally and also physically too, because you guys can give birth. Men can't do that. Okay, but mentally strong, you need that. Because I'm telling you right now, all these great men out here, they claim they're great. Guess who was right there for them? Was right there, and she probably gave him half the ideas. They probably stole from him. Women are the best thing in this world. It really is. I'm not just saying it's just to preach or whatever. It's the truth. Like, you guys are the strongest thing in this world, right? And for like us men, we need you guys. You guys may want us, but you don't need us for shit. Honestly, tell you the truth, and that's facts.
Yeah.
You guys are the backbone of everything.
Well, I think we need each other, though. I would say that.
Yeah, you need each other, right? But you guys are way stronger than us. I tell you right, you guys are way stronger than us, especially mentally. Mentally, way beyond us.
And probably because, Lou, a lot of that is because we've been told it's okay to talk about everything.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that makes a big difference for sure. So
that's it.
Well, I appreciate you getting on here, and I hope that you have a great Thanksgiving and a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Not like this isn't gonna be the last time we talk or anything before then, but you know, keep working out, keep inspiring people. You're definitely an inspiration to many. I see it. I see the comments. I see the people doing your challenges. It's fun. You know, you're making it fun, and that's what it's about. You know, like you said, it's short lived. We don't know how long we're here, and might as well have fun doing it, right?
Enjoy your life every day. Enjoy
That's exactly it. So, well, listen, everybody, I appreciate you getting on Hope. Like I said, Tammy Lynn Connor's YouTube channel. We're on Apple, Spotify. If you guys give some likes, some shares, you know, some positive ratings, that'll help us, you know, get this out to more people. All I'm trying to do is just let people know you don't struggle alone. So, Lou, you have a great day, and we will chat soon. Okay. Thank you so much.